I think Nokia is in a very unique position as far as the end-to-end portfolio is concerned. We are the only company in the telecom sector who has a complete end-to-end portfolio which cuts across radio, core, transport, fixed networks, IP, optics, services and software. And that's what we believe from Nokia's standpoint, that when operators are venturing into the 5G deployment, they have to look at an end-to-end architecture, because the network evolution needs of the network warrant that kind of environment where they have to look at end-to-end perspective, not just a radio alone. From India's standpoint, we are in conversation with customers. The network evolution plans are in discussion, and we are at an advanced stage of converging or concluding those network evolution discussions. As far as the use cases is concerned, we believe India is very unique in its own nature, primarily because of the demographics, primarily because of the financial situation that India is in from a telco standpoint, and also the innovation that is needed in India from an operators and a consumer standpoint. In India use cases, we are not looking only at global use cases which can be copied, pasted and brought to India, but we at Nokia are at a cutting edge of innovation, where we have our R&D center in Bangalore, where we have created a 5G use case experience lab, where we have an IoT center, and we are developing those use cases internally together with some of our partners and also startup community. We are onboarding them, incubating them, and getting their ideas and productizing them end of the day. So that's what we believe that India will have. And those use cases are segmented across multiple facets. One which has a social impact, which is more, another segment is more on the industry side, which needs automation in manufacturing. And third is the public safety. I think these are three categories of use cases which we believe will take off in India, will be different from a global nature, and that the implementation will have to be localized and customized for the needs of the industries and the consumers here. To that effect, we have already we have a variety of use cases which we are displaying here at this IMC in Nokia booth, and you had a glimpse of that, which is cutting across smart crop management. That's a booth, demo that we have set up here. We are talking about virtual gaming, virtual reality. Outside we have a virtual classroom. Just go and have a look at that in terms of how we can impart education through a virtual classroom. You don't need a physical teacher in a particular city or in a particular school, but it can be imparted from a remote location as well. Remote surgery may be a bit distant from an India use case standpoint, but remote paramedics could be one use case which we have already looked into, and we are bringing that to the fore with our users. So honestly, India, because of its inherent nature of the business and the localization of use cases, we have already taken a leap in terms of creating that content and use cases which are made in India, made for India, and that's what we believe in will set the right trajectory for 5G use cases and its monetization in India going forward. It's not about being cheap or unaffordable. It's about the local relevance, and that's what we are trying to bring in here, because we have got the experience of the market here. We have partners who have the experience of the consumers. We bring in global expertise of our R&D innovation, and that's what we are trying to build up here in our R&D facility and taking that to the market. End of the day, depending upon the timing of the auction and the subsequent rollouts, but at least from a readiness standpoint, we have ensured that we are already ahead of the game. Operators will understand the pain points of the consumers and the industries before they go and launch the networks. And that's very inherent to the way we do business, that we understand the market needs prior to getting that implemented rather than being too late. I think 5G is not a new technology. It's an overlay on 4G. And current deployments are more on a non-standalone basis, which means that it can completely overlay on a 4G network. Relatively easy. The way the networks are being rolled out in global markets, it should give you confidence that the technology is working, it's effective, and we have seen a good amount of adoption in markets like South Korea, where the uptake of 5G subscribers has been 3 times faster than what it used to be in LTE in the same timelines. And in terms of the consumption of the data on 5G, it's also 3 times than it used to be in the 4G era. So from that standpoint, it's not a different technology. Little bit of change in the architecture, but it's a complete overlay on 4G, and it is seamless. There are specifications and architecture designs which allow different types of implementation, and from that standpoint we say that it's good to go. So there are no challenges at this point in time. The device ecosystem is getting better. There are markets who have launched it, and fortunately for India, the band that has been identified for 5G is also used in other markets like Korea and China, which will give a mass advantage to the market share. So from that standpoint, we believe ecosystem is getting better. Use cases are getting developed at a local content level. Global deployments, those learnings will be transferred to India. So from that standpoint, I think India is staying on a very good platform or a foundation where it should not be too much of a challenge for 5G networks to get rolled out. Handsets will have to be changed in this case because it's a different modulation schemes altogether. So from that standpoint, the handset needs a change, and that's with every technology. So when we had 2G, we had to change it to 3G. The handset used to be changed. 3G to 4G, there was a change. But as I said that, because of the global adoption of 5G, we would see that by the time India implements 5G, it will be affordable from a device standpoint. So I think that is the least of the problems at this point in time, because more and more networks are getting live. So more and more development of the ecosystem will work and facilitate faster implementation of 5G in India.